Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. This is a little bit different for me. I'm used to doing this live, but today I am actually I'm actually going to be out with family for the upcoming July 4th. So that's why I'm actually recording ahead of time. This is going to be for July reading, so I am still putting this out for July 1st. Hopefully that's not going to be too much of a problem. I hope you guys are doing okay. It's the start of a new month and I hope there's a lot to look forward to. This time, like I said, we are gonna do for your horoscope, and it is gonna be in order. I am still gonna put the timestamps on, so if there's something that you are hoping to see for yourself, definitely take a look at the timestamps in the description. I'm actually interested. I always forget who is what sign since I have regular viewers for the horoscope specifically. So I guess post in the bottom of the chat or comment. I'm so used to chat what your horoscope is. Use the signs for your horoscope. Yeah. For this time, actually, I want you to pay attention not just to your sun sign, which is the sign that most people pay attention to, but also make sure you check out your moon and rising. If you're not sure, I definitely recommend doing your natal chart from Cafe Astrology. You'll need to know your specific birth time and birth location. So perfect. We are going to get started. I am going to start with Aries. Again, don't take everything seriously. This is supposed to mainly be for fun, right? This is a little bit of chisme, a little bit of gossip to see a little bit about ourselves and what's upcoming, right? And don't think that this is all going to be bad. I promise this is just advice. So it's up to you to take it or leave it. It's up to you to decide what is like applicable to you, and if you don't resonate with it, it's okay. You don't have to take anything. Ready? All right, we're gonna start with Aries. And I am gonna mark the timestamp still, so I might take pauses in between for that. This is gonna be at 0 to 0 or 15. Let's do that. Okay, perfect. So Aries babies, what is coming up for you in July? As you can tell, I'm probably recording this a little early and you guys are going to see this a little bit later. So I am hoping that everything is accurate to July. I've always read tarot live, so I'm not used to reading ahead of time for anyone other than myself, really. There we go. All right, so for Aries, I'm going to be pulling 3 cards. 6 of Cups reverse, Ace of Swords upright, and Ace of Wands reversed. All right. 6 of Cups, I remember, is about nostalgia. I was actually doing readings earlier for myself, and I pulled the 6 of Cups, and it was like, I pulled it in upright, which is definitely about nostalgia, but in reverse, looks like it wants you to stop reminiscing about the golden years of the past. You might be stuck on, oh, these were the best years of my life. I don't have anything else going for me. This is like as good as it gets. All right, and then Ace of Swords. I'm going to be reading these all together, so don't take this as the finality. All right, so Ace of Swords. This is going to be truth, decisiveness, potential, clarity. Beginning and new opportunities are pretty much all aces, just in different realms. So this is going to deal with communication. Typically, swords are communication, something that I also personally struggle with. Use of your brain power and words is required to successfully take advantage of those beginnings and opportunities. Make decisions wisely. So something about moving forward, you want to be sure that you are taking a look at your opportunities. You want to be sure of the words you're putting forward in this time, because this is the time where sometimes your words are going to mean something really big. Communicating with the right people is going to be important for July. And then lastly, Ace of Wands in reverse. So once again, beginning of new opportunities. This is going to be in reverse. I do read reversals. Setbacks, lack of conviction, inspirational blocks. So creative blocks or the absence of willpower. You're no longer excited about that cutie you chatted up last week and none of the ideas you thought of panned out for your work venture. All right, so I get it here. You have a lot of things that will come as opportunities to you in the month of July. It's up to you whether you are going to take advantage of those opportunities, because this is at the center. This is at the core of your reading. This is the Ace of Swords. So it's up to you whether you're going to cut through the past that is holding you back. These reversal cards are staying stuck in the past because you think that this is as good as it gets for you. You think that nothing is gonna give you the same spark that it did in the past. And so you are the one that's holding yourself back from wonderful opportunities that are gonna come ahead of you. I think in this month, you wanna make sure that you're open to new possibilities, new ideas. These aren't gonna be, the past isn't gonna be your best years. It doesn't mean that because you're in a period of stagnation, that there isn't gonna be something good coming to you. So this is actually a kind of like ganbatte, hiking. This is like a cheer yourself on type of reading, cheering you on type of reading. So again, me too. I am going to be cheering you on that July is going to give you some new prospects. It is the turn of the year, you know? Halfway through the year is gone. So this other half, make it count. You have a lot of things coming and a lot of good to look forward to. Aries babies. Perfect. You'll notice that today I actually got a new setup. I moved the camera a little bit. You guys will have to tell me what you think of this setup. I really wanted to try to freshen things up, especially since this is the first time that you guys are gonna see me in this position for July. July, I feel like at the start of the month, you always wanna try something new. It's just like January where it's like the turn of the year. The turn of the month, I feel like also is a new starting point. All right, so now we're gonna go through Taurus. Taurus is gonna be at 00650. Roughly, at least. I know I like to yap a lot, so sometimes these go on a little bit longer than I mean for the start of these. There we go. All right, for Taurus, what do we have for Taurus? Whoa! About to lose all my cards. But sometimes that's a good sign. When I start losing cards from my deck, sometimes it's because there's really like a message that's like, I have to get that out for you, you know? But I'm not gonna take the whole deck. Okay, so let's see. The Hermit reversed, the High Priestess, and Two of Wands reversed. That's really interesting. The High Priestess reversed, Hermit reversed, and Two of Wands. If you didn't know, major arcanas are kind of like the big, like significant life events. Not that it's gonna be like, I'm getting married, though that could be something like that. But it's really that this is gonna have a pretty big impact on your life. Let me see. So we have the Hermit reversed. Speaking of arcanas, I actually plan to not start over, but I'm gonna be refreshing my channel towards Nikkei content. I understand that a lot of people subscribe to me for roguelike content, so I really am gonna be sad when people drop off because it's not the content, you know, that they initially came for. But I really hope to share something new and fresh with you guys that makes me really passionate. Let's see. Hermit reversed. Isolation, loneliness. You're either going too far or not enough in your introspection and solitude. If you've already spent a good deal of time thinking on your own, your self-obsession could be setting you up for some major loneliness. I see. Inner development is admirable, but maintaining and fostering connection can also be sources of joy. Got it. High Priestess. And it's a lot of, both of these cards are kind of introspective cards. High Priestess is getting in touch with your inner feminine. So this one is secrecy, blocked or neglected intuition, spiritual denial. You may be ignoring your intuition, or that you may be keeping knowledge to yourself. Nurture your intuition and trust in yourself. Don't deny your spirituality, however it manifests for you. Be wary of secrecy when transparency is best. Okay. It feels like, and this is just early feelings, that you may be in a group of friends, and I don't know if you're feeling out of place or if it's something where you're going through something and you don't feel like you're comfortable sharing that with other people, other friends, things like that. But because of that, you kind of self-isolate and leave yourself lonely even if you're in a group of friends, you know? This is something where I think the knowledge that it's talking about is knowledge about yourself that you're not willing to share. Two of Wands. Two of Wands, and this is upright. Okay. Two of Wands upright, ambition, partnership, potential exploration. Examine all the options before you to take that drive of yours and channel it towards success. This is an optimistic card that loves exploration and collaboration. You could be exploring. So I think that's exactly right. I think that the things that you're thinking about, your friends actually hold the key to it. Whether they're in like a field similar to you, or maybe they're coworkers that are also friends, or not even if it's career related, maybe it's passion, something you're really like passionate about, or something where you're really going through a tough phase and trying to think about it and work it out yourself. I don't think you realize the kind of foils that people have to be able to help you. I describe it kind of like being at a museum and standing 2 inches in front of the picture, right? You do get to see a portion of the picture, but you can't see the whole thing. Sometimes you need people who are stepped back a little bit of ways to show you what the whole picture is. You're not going to know that this whole picture is this big scenery, or maybe it's a flower. You couldn't say, but maybe your friends can tell you and help you figure it out, you know? That's what this reading seems to be. So it seems like you're going to be getting in touch with people this month. I really hope anyway. Either that, or you might end up self-isolating, and I hope that that won't be the case. There we go. All right, Taurus, good luck for the next month. Good luck, good luck. I've done a lot of self-isolating myself, trying to figure myself out and think about where I want to go, what I want to do. A lot of like the inspiration I drive from Nikkei is mainly because I love the human connection within it, and I also strive for human connection, you know? There's a lot of people who keep to themselves and are content, but I think I'm one of those people that when I self-isolate, I get more, I think that I'm figuring things out, you know, like Taurus, but I am not really figuring anything new out because I've been going through the same scenario over and over again. Do you know that saying? It's like doing the same thing is just madness. Like if you keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different result, it's just insanity. It's something like that, right? All right, 0012, let's say 001250. All right. And for this reading, it is going to be Gemini babies. Gemini. Let's go ahead and shuffle. Gemini for the month of July. That rhymes. That's so cool. What are we going to see for this upcoming month? Let's see. I was trying to think of whether I'm picking the bottom or the top. We have Page of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the Hanged Man. So everything is in reverse here. And again, well, maybe new viewers won't know, but anything that's in reversal isn't necessarily a bad card. I don't believe there's any bad cards in the deck, but just cards that give you something to think about, which sometimes those are a little scary, right? All right, let's take a look here. Page of Wands reversed. Page of Wands is going to be redirected energy, self-limiting beliefs. The Page of Wands may indicate a plan that's been stunted or a design gone awry. Perhaps you started a project with grand goals only to find that it isn't living up to expectations. Maybe you're too intimidated to start due to complexities this case might involve. All right, the next one is Seven of Wands. It seems like Gemini is a very ambitious individual. It sounds like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like when you're at a buffet and you see like so much food, you're hungry and your eyes are bigger than your stomach, so you bit off more than you could chew because you thought you could finish it all. You have a certain hunger, it seems. I tried to say thirst and hunger at the same time. All right, so Gemini, Seven of Wands reversed, insecurity backing down. Suggests that your insecurity might be bringing you down instead of igniting your fighting spirit. So what if things seem harder than you expected them to be? It's not impossible to overcome these obstacles. Could warn of your ego and your fighting spirit have let you take things too far. You might want to pick your battles. I see. I do think it's getting ahead of yourself and being disappointed with the results. It sounds like you had this really grand idea, but because it didn't give you the results that you were looking for, that has made you very disappointed. By the way, I'm so sorry if I'm fidgety. I just had a heck of a bunch of chocolate. I find that I'm so much more sensitive to sugar nowadays. And the last one is going to be Hanged Man in reverse. Distrust, delays, resistance, stalling. Procrastination, lack of trust, and delays. You aren't putting your trust in the universe. You're just trying to fight the inevitable. When the Hangman is reversed, he appears ironically to be standing. He suggests that you've waited long enough, make that move, take that step, and do that thing. It sounds like there's something that's holding you back. Like, you're ready to step forward, but I think you're too ready that you're kind of tripping over yourself. It's the same idea of being excited and kind of like going forward too fast. I think actually that in this case, you can see, actually I'm not sure if you can see, but this girl, she's covered by vines, which I think is helping, like preventing her from moving forward. I actually think this might be in the upright position, which is funny because the Hangman is hanging down. So in this case, I do think that you were very passionate about a project. You're disappointed that it didn't pan out, or this is going to be upcoming. And the thing to take away is to make sure that you don't let that lose your fire. Don't let it lose your fire. There's so much that can change, you know? Everybody thinks if they fail the first time, this is kind of counterintuitive to the last thing I said, right? But everyone thinks that if they fail, that's it. That's all there is. Again, sometimes it's just trying a different way. You don't need to feel like because the way that you did it did not work, that it completely will not work, you know? Sometimes it's just reframing your mindset, but I do think that this is going to disappoint you and hold you back a little bit longer. Unfortunately, definitely take a look within yourself, definitely reevaluate and see if this is a project you want to see through. Because to me, it feels like you really want this. And if you really want it, you gotta go after it and you gotta make sure you don't give up too early. All right, Gemini, good luck for the month of July. All right, next is gonna be Cancer, which is at 00, 18. Let's add 20 for we're gonna add 20 for being able to shuffle, and then also I'll probably yap a little bit. Yes. So, when I'm like pulling cards, it's all about feeling and intuition. This is something where I can't be sure that what I'm saying is exactly gonna reflect your life or your circumstances, which is why I always say take a look at your rising and your moon sign. A lot of people don't know about those, but those are some other facets of your personality, your life, your you-ness, you know? Cancer, what do we have for you? Whoa! Okay, right there. 5 of Pentacles upright, the Lovers reversed, oh, and the Ace of Cups reversed. Got it. So 5 of Pentacles, let's start there. Loss, struggle, support, lack of security. A time of struggle and loss, whether physical, financial, or spiritual. Whatever the realm, this card is associated with some of the hardest and most tragic hardships. Don't think that this is the end. I'm just saying. Don't think this is the end. Everyone always thinks that when I read their fortune, that it's automatically gonna be bad. And I'm not going to say that everyone is going to feel good, but I don't think, again, that anything is inherently bad. Whatever the realm, this card is associated with some of the hardest and most tragic hardships. It can, however, also remind us that we're not alone in our suffering. Perhaps there are people in our lives who are going through these same intense struggles, or maybe we have folks in our corner who are supporting us and offering resilience, compassion, and a steady presence. keep moving forward, even if it's one step at a time. Try not to succumb to feelings of hopelessness. It won't be permanent, and there are people who are ready and willing to be by your side. See, I should have read the whole thing before I cut in. This is why I do like to preface that there are no bad cards, you know? Everything is just to piece together a story, a narrative, and in some advice. Next one is Lovers Reverse. Uncertainty, disharmony, misalignment, temptation. So contrary to what people think, this isn't always about relationships, you know, romantic relationships. It could be, and a lot of times it is more often than not, but it's usually just someone who has a strong presence in your life. One of them is you, and then the other person could be like your mom, your dad, could be like a sibling, could be a coworker that you're really close with. Like, it's someone in your life, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a lover. The lovers may indicate disharmony. Something may be off in a relationship with a loved one. Perhaps the communication is strained, or maybe you and your crush don't share the same values. It may also indicate that you're not in harmony with yourself, and that you and your partner are being pulled apart by outside influences or things that you're uncertain about with the partnership. Okay. So going with something about a struggle. I think the struggle is going to be due to something either financial or physical. Something like if you are losing your job, maybe this is going to put a strain on your relationship because maybe you're having trouble like affording things or stuff like that. This could be something like that. I know that I've struggled before with rent and stuff like that, and that's put a struggle for like my relationship with my parents. My parents are, you know, like my parents and a lot of parents, sometimes they can be a little harsh, especially dealing with finances. At the least, like I never grew up really learning about tax and how to take care of money and stuff like that. So I was a little bit frivolous with spending, and I put myself in kind of like hard places that my mom was like, you could have avoided this, la la, you know? So it strained my relationship with my mom. We still absolutely love each other, but sometimes we have to be given hard truths and we have to face things head on. We can't just avoid the situation completely. Let me see. The last one is Ace of Cups. This is gonna be disappointment, hopelessness, drain, stunted growth. This card indicates that you may be feeling despondent and generally uninspired. Not only keeps you down, but also prohibits risk-taking and growth. If you're feeling drained or stunted, ruminate on what steps you can take to feel fulfilled again. Trust your intuition and tend to your heart. Yeah, I think that this is gonna hurt you greatly. It might be a sense of pride, like you've always been able to take care of yourself, or maybe it's you thought you could always like be independent, or that you would find this easy once you go out. And like, I don't know why, but it feels similar to like when you are a college or high school student and you go to the next step thinking that you're a full-fledged adult, you know, but then you struggle with certain things. Adults also feel this way. I know that I felt this way. And so I think it's similar to my situation with my mom. Maybe they can be a little blunt, and this is something where it is going to hurt you. You're going to feel disappointed with yourself. You don't hear that they're trying to help you. You just hear, damn, I failed. So this is going to be mostly a message of kind of looking internally, being sure that you know that this is just going to be a learning experience. And by experience, it doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. This is something where you need to just take time for introspection and know that this is something to teach you. I think especially in the realm of physical, material, that this is something to be careful with moving forward, but it doesn't mean you can't enjoy the other parts of life. I think that you are struggling to enjoy things because of this situation here. It feels like there are going to be some struggles ahead in July. That kind of is how it is in the turn of the new year, isn't it? Or not the turn of the new year, but the turn of the half year point. I think a lot of people get tired around this point, but it is why people want to change and want to try something different, be something different, you know? The next reading is going to be for Leos. This is 00, 25. Let's do 10. Okay. My Leo babies. Let's see what we get for you guys. Ooh, big messy reading here. There we go. All right. Let's shuffle it up. I'm worried that for myself too, going on this new adventure with Nikke, that like, you know, not everybody likes the same stuff, but I want to be just so excited that you guys are excited about it too. Maybe even like inspire you guys to try it too. I think it's a story that's really overlooked for how good it is, you know, because of the main implications of the front-facing part. The don't judge a book by its cover is really important here. All right. It looks like Leo is also going to have something major happen in the month of July. We have the Emperor reversed, a major arcana, Judgment upright, major arcana again, and Nine of Swords reversed. Let's see what this gives us here. The Emperor, sitting in your masculine energy, being kind of at the top of your game, but in this instance, in reverse, domineering, rigidity, control freak, closed-mindedness. Why is my English being blah, blah, blah? This card warns that you're either going too far with these values or not going far enough. Is power being abused? Are you becoming domineering or overbearing? Perhaps the Emperor is calling on you to instead stand up to a flawed authority figure. This card reverse can also signify the need to nurture your self-discipline and to stop avoiding your power. Recommit yourself, lay down groundwork, and achieve your goals. Okay. I'm just curious whether this is you in power or someone in your life that is in power. That's not totally clear to me, so let's get a little bit more information. So that is going to be Judgment upright. Judgment, absolution, rebirth. It arrives when you need to make an important decision or you're experiencing a major revelation. You're on the precipice of a truly momentous part of your life, a crossroads where the choice of direction to go in the next will change everything. It asks you to remember all the lessons you've learned along the way. You're nearing the end of the fool's journey and have experienced almost everything there is to experience. So take what you learned and use it to move forward. Let past experiences and your intuition inform your future choices. Step into your newer self. I don't know if this is who you used to be. I get kind of that impression. When I'm reading, I take into account a lot of things, not necessarily all at the same time, but things like we have these two as pink cards. This is the black card. So this is kind of like, not to say the black sheep literally, but this is kind of like the one that stands out apart from the cards. Let me read Nine of Swords before I come into any conclusion. Nine of Swords. So this one, reversed, relief, optimism, healing, moving on. Nine of Swords can indicate that you're finally exiting a period of overwhelming pain. You've passed through the worst of it and can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Take a deep breath and move forward, bringing with you the lessons you've learned and leaving behind the panic that incapacitated you. Okay. So, I'm gonna be straight up. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this is you. I don't know if this is an authority figure in your life, but this is the... I'm going back to it. It's kind of like the dark sheep, like a dark cloud in your life. I think this is something that's held you back for a long time. Even like when I look at these cards, this person looks almost similar to the Emperor, but is in like shaggy clothes. Like, I'm not saying a tunic looks shabby, but it's definitely like you've gone through the ringer, that type of feeling. And you are about to experience something that is going to change your life for the better. You've gone through so much shit that now you deserve to take your life moving forward. You deserve to feel like there's something to look forward to, that there's going to be a lot of healing. I think a lot of this is a lot of the pain that you've been through, a lot of things that have hurt you in the past. It's time to move on from that. It shouldn't hurt you moving forward. And I think you are going to experience a lot of healing from that now than you did before, which is a really hopeful reading. I'm really happy for you, Leos, and I hope that that's going to be true for you in the upcoming month. Take small steps too. Even if it's not life-changing, like huge, I really hope that it takes you closer to healing. Yeah? There we go. Sometimes there's a lot of things in our past that have hurt us, and like that could be people, that could be situations, things like that. But I think everybody deserves to go through healing and to be a better person for the next tomorrow, you know? Okay, Virgo. Let's go with Virgo, and this is going to be 00, 30, and let's do 30. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to pull one of the bottom cards because that's just what's speaking to me. Justice upright. 10 of Swords reversed. 3 of Wands upright. Some kind of collaboration. Okay. So let's start with Justice, another major arcana here. This is going to be number 11. So, justice, truth, equity, fairness, objectivity. Who knew justice stood for justice? You've been called to face your actions, and it is justice that will judge you. If you've acted with fairness and honesty, then you should have no fear. If, however, you acted in dishonesty and selfishly, the appropriate consequences will be levied. Perhaps you're considering the merit of a particular course of action or the pros and cons of a decision. If so, this card recommends you to be like justice and remove emotions from the situation in order to make a fair choice. So it sounds like a very important decision is going to come up. I honestly kind of see it like karma. I see it like karma. Not just that it's up to you to make a fair decision, but it feels like karma in a sense of if you've been good, like, why do I sound like Santa? If you've been good this year. But if you've been someone who's fair, honest, good, you know, this is going to work out actually really well. But you might find that you should be careful if you've been like unfair to other people, if you feel like you've been dishonest, if you've been acting like just for yourself. You can only expect that this is going to backfire, you know? Let's go for 10 of Swords reversed. 10 of Swords. Okay. 10 of Swords reversed, resistance to change, renewal, hope, healing. The 10 of Swords hints that you might be unwilling to say goodbye and let something end. If this is the case for you, know that it's time to face the music because fighting the inevitable won't do you any good. Alternatively, the 10 of Swords can mean that those swords are being removed from your back, so you can finally heal. Revel in this release and move forward renewed and hopeful once more. Yeah. So the idea that this has two different sides to it, I also think aligns with justice, where it depends on how you've been up to now. If you've been selfish, if you've been cruel, things like that, this is gonna stab you in the back. But conversely, if you've been good, if you've been putting out good karma out into the world, outside of yourself, you know, you're gonna be removing these deep pains, these deep wounds from yourself. Okay? Let's go lastly to 3 of Wands. Where are my wands at? There we go. So 3 of Wands. Delays, competition. No, wait. This is the upright. So action, productivity, strategy, and unfolding. Everything's gone right so far, and you're finally able to set things in motion. Your projects are no longer just ideas, but are actually becoming reality. Oh, it's a good thing! All that good energy you've put out into the world is coming back to you. So it looks like you've been good this year. Yay! You're not getting a lump of coal. Congratulations! Yes, it looks like you have been doing your best to put out good in the world. I don't know if you're gonna see that for yourself. Like if you will think that you've been putting out good in this world, but it may be that despite everything, you've done a pretty net positive towards the world, or you have the intention there to put out a net positive into the world. So I do think that this is actually going to be a great sign of being able to heal, move on, go forward, and you might be able to find the people who can help you do so. I do think that it is going to be a period of healing. I do think that you have made good decisions in your life or plan to make good decisions in your life. So I'm really excited for what July has in store for you. Nobody clip that. Okay, there we go. Yay! Okay. Let's see what we have then. Libra, Libra, Libra. Libra. Let me see. Okay. By the way, today, you'll notice I'm a little bit more dressed up than I usually am. I also redid my nails, so this time they're a little bit more blue color, blue coated. But there's this girl in Nikkei named Arcana, funny enough, and she does tarot readings. And so I tried to do a kind of color-coded outfit for Arcana. She does have lace and things like that, so I tried to do something similar. Is that nerdy? It's like closet cosplay. Okay, so Libra, 3550. Let's do that. Okay, let's see what we get from shuffling. No, right here. Eight of Pentacles reversed, Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the Empress. There's a lot of major arcana this time, I feel like. I've only ever pulled like a couple of just full minor arcanas, isn't it? Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Empress. A lot of Pentacles are like physical stuff, material stuff, so this feels like it's gonna be career or money, financial, something related to that. So Eight of Pentacles. Impatience over underwork, shortcuts, burnout. I'm so sorry. I laugh because I think of one of my chat members who is someone that works to the point of like, I don't know if they do anything but work and sleep. So let's see. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Eight of Pentacles warns you that you're either working too hard and too much or not working enough. There may be external or internal forces pressuring you to work too hard and too much, or maybe a lack of passion, patience, commitment, or support that's causing you to work too little or do the job incorrectly. If it's the latter, identify what you need in order to commit to this investment properly. If it's the former, remember to be kind to yourself and think of the long-term goal. You can't enjoy the future if you burn out before you reach it. All right. Ace of Pentacles next. Let me see. Wow. So this is also reversed. Financial loss, lack of commitment, lack of security. Ace of Pentacles warns of a financial mismanagement and disappointment. It could also mean that the foundation of these new opportunities is flimsy at best, so the stability and security of the future endeavors may be fleeting or questionable. It can note that commitment is wavering or revoked entirely, putting these exciting new possibilities at risk or on hold completely. And I do want to note that that could be you or someone else. So right now to me, it looks like you might be... It could be either way, that you're working too hard or too little. You're putting your energy in the wrong places is essentially what it feels like. If you're working too hard and maybe putting too much into it, you're putting in, again, too much into it that it's gonna burn you out before you get to where you want to go. But if you are trying to do a speed run to where you want to go, it could be that you are doing it in the wrong way and gonna lose out money because you think that that's gonna get you there faster. That's what I'm seeing here so far. The last one is the Empress. The Empress. The Divine Feminine here. It doesn't mean this is specifically for women. So this one, femininity, nurture, creativity, abundance, and beauty. Represents creativity, motherhood, and femininity. She indicates there can be abundant growth, whether it be personal, professional, or interpersonal. She cares for herself and those around her, nurturing them with patience, affection, and love. Ooh, okay. So it's exactly that. I think that you might be going about this project in the wrong ways, and because of that you're kind of rushing through when you could be having everything you want. I think being patient is really difficult for you because you feel like you see the end goal, like it's within your grasp. But when you're patient, you'll actually get there faster than doing everything in the wrong way, right? When you rush through things, like I think of the Tower card especially for this, because when you put the wrong foundation down, say like, okay, I need bricks, but I can't have them right now. I need to special order them. So instead of specially ordering them, because that's going to take weeks, I might as well just use the bricks that I have here, even if they're broken, right? So I build this foundation out of broken bricks, and I am going to be surprised that it falls apart? No, that's not it. You can't be surprised that a project fails because you took a shortcut to get there. I think instead, be patient and you are gonna be given what you want. Yeah? It's hard to be patient. It's really difficult. I think especially when you have it, again, in your sights, it feels like kind of being like a lead in a carrot, right? You can't quite get the carrot, but you smell it. It's too tempting. Let's do Scorpio now. Let's see Scorpio. And this is gonna be 0, 0, 40. Let's do 50 again. A lot of these are landing on the 50 like second mark. Queen of Wands upright. High Priestess again with a major arcana. And 6 of Cups reversed. We already have seen 6 of Cups reversed here too. Queen of Wands. So this one upright. Courage, confidence, determination, outgoing personality, charisma, and vision. So, why are my words like blah, blah, blah. Queen of Wands is creative, charismatic, and always on the move. When you see her in a reading, it may be encouragement toward bold action, or it may indicate that you're doing many things at once. After all, the Queen is a real social butterfly. She uses her charisma to develop passionate, entrepreneurial networks of support. She knows who she is, so she may be inviting you to embrace your whole self as well. All right. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure if I have enough information to really give you something off the bat, so let's read the High Priestess. Number 2. So this one, again, intuition, spirituality, the divine feminine. I lost my spot. There we go. Calls for you to follow your intuition, connect with your spirituality, and search for deeper meaning. She's a spiritual teacher and gatekeeper of hidden information that can be deciphered by digging into your subconscious and following your gut. Ooh, okay. That's not a bad ooh, by the way. It feels like there's gonna be something you're moving towards, and it's gonna be really exciting. You're gonna be seen as kind of like the center of something really big happening, and it's all about you following your gut to get there. This is like the perfect time. You're rushing forward to get there. It's something that you're really passionate about. Nostalgia, this 6 of Cups, I forget again. So overindulgence in nostalgia, being stuck, and ability to move on. Again, stop reminiscing about the golden years of times past and be in the present. Get your head in the game. Lock in. It's the same way as before, where you feel like you've overcome not overcome, but you've been through the best. You're like, if you're on a roll, you're like, this can't possibly get any better. This is in a really positive way, actually. This can't possibly get better, you say. But there's so many more things ahead to be excited about, and you're leading the charge on it. You just have to trust your gut that there is more out there, and that's gonna be so exciting for you. Oh my gosh, you're so lucky this month. I am so jealous. Jesus, Scorpios. You have a lot of good things to look forward to in the month of July. All right. I know that was pretty straightforward for me, but I don't know. When the cards speak, they speak, and this time they yellin'. All right. The next one is going to be Sagittarius. Sagittarius, speaking of leading the charge, I feel like a lot of Sagittarius people or Leo people are the ones that tend to lead the charge. Let me see what we got here. Whoop. All right, let's set this as 0, 0, 44, 50 again. 50 is just a good number for some reason. Woo! I can't read all of that, okay? Let's see how many of this. 3. Actually perfect. Justice again. 3 of Wands, 10 of Swords. Isn't this what I read before? Are you just copycatting? Wait, isn't this copycatting? Is this the same as my other reading? I can't go back, so you have to go back and tell me. Justice, Truth, Equity. 3 of Wands is the collaboration card. So this one is, let me see. Action, productivity, strategy, unfolding. And then the last one was 10 of Swords. Are you telling me this is the same as the other one? I still have to repeat it because I can't remember which one it is, but... Okay. 10 of Swords reversed. Resistance to change, renewal, hope, healing. You might be unwilling to say goodbye and let something end. If this is the case for you, know that it's time to face the music because fighting the inevitable won't do you any good. Alternatively, the 10 of Swords can mean those swords are being removed from... This is the same reading as someone else! You copycat Sagittarius! Who is it? I can't remember. Okay, so let me give you the gist and breakdown. And I'm gonna be as clear as I can, even though I've said this before already. So, you're gonna be... It depends on your karma, right? So if you put out good energy into the world, you're going to be given something back. And I think that that's exactly what happens. Conversely, if you put out bad energy into the world, that's going to be where it bites your ass. You're going to find that if you put out bad energy into the world, these swords are going to be stabbing you in the back because you are getting back exactly what you've dealt. If you've hurt someone, you're going to get really hurt back. Things that you didn't think would hurt you are going to hurt you back. But I do think that instead it's the opposite, where you either have the intention of giving back, not necessarily giving back like something physical, but something where you're giving something positive to the community, to your people, to someone outside of yourself. And that's going to give you good karma, which means that the endeavors that you take moving forward are likely going to turn out really good in this upcoming month. 10 of Swords is probably going to mean that you are healing from something that hurt you in the past as a result of this karma, is what I'm thinking. This is the exact same reading, I'm pretty sure, as the other horoscope, the other zodiac. I really can't tell you which one, but I'm telling you, that's crazy. You guys got to get together and get your shit together. All right, let's see. I can't believe that happened. Let's see Capricorn. That's gonna be 00, 47. Actually, let's just do 48 straight up. Okay, Capricorn, let's see what we got here for you. You know, this is going by a little faster. I love taking time to talk with chat. So this is usually like a 1 hour and a half or 2 hour stream. It's so much shorter now. I really miss you guys already because I haven't been streaming for the past few weeks already, I think. It might not be weeks. It just feels like a long time. It feels like a long time to me. So this is going to be Capricorn's reading. Okay. 7 of Swords reversed. The King of Pentacles. And the last is King of Swords. Ooh, a lot of kings this time. And also all minor arcanas for once. So we have 7 of Swords. You know, it makes sense that there's a lot of major arcanas though. Again, like the turning point of the year, half year mark. Okay, so 7 of Swords reversed. Denial, secrets, discovery, and truth. Can indicate that you're trying to fool yourself and are in denial about your situation, or that the harsh truth is finally being revealed. If it's the first, you better be frank and get real with yourself, because lying to yourself and keeping secrets only makes the situation worse. Face the music and deal with reality, no matter how difficult it may seem. If the truth is coming to light, then what was taken from you might be coming back, or you might finally get a chance at reconciliation over a past deception. Approach this opportunity with forgiveness, patience, and gratitude. Interesting. Something big is going to come back to you. It feels like it's been haunting you for a while. What's happening, Capricorn? King of Pentacles. Let's take a look here. So upright, wealth, business, established leadership, security, and discipline. He uses his wealth and mastery of skill to ensure security, protection, and management. He's above all practical, sensible, and analytically with his wealth, time, and resources. Knowledgeable, committed, and objective, he achieves his goals and protects his own with a fantastic sense of leadership and devotion. King of Swords is the other king here. So King of Swords, mental clarity, authority, truth, conviction. The master of logic, rationality, and order. The ultimate authority on truth and discipline, always making intellect and fact-based decisions. Sounds like it's gonna be something related to work. Oh. It sounds like maybe you got slighted by something with work, and so you might be a little bitter about it, but taking things logically, you can actually benefit a lot from this situation. You need to be at your best, like be professional. You are gonna get so much back if you let it happen. It's hard to forgive something when you feel like you've been slighted. When you are hurting, I think the natural reaction that most people have that they fail to admit is that they want to hurt back. They may hurt someone unintentionally, like the people around them. You just get frustrated and you accidentally lash out, something like that. But this is being patient. This is forgiving or being forgived, something like that effect. I think you're actually going to need to be patient with someone that you've lost your patience with, someone that has done something wrong to you, and being like, yes, I understand, or that was really bad, this hurt me, but I forgive you, something to that effect. And that's one of the hardest things for people to do. Logically, this is what you need to do, and actually that you need to do it to be able to move forward in the best way for you, You have a lot to gain by doing that. So I keep thinking in my mind, get over yourself. You can do it. This is the way. Don't stop yourself from opportunities that could be great for you. You have so much good coming. You gotta let it come. Never mind. All right. That is Capricorn's reading. Let's go now to Aquarius. Aquarius. I know that sometimes I say sus things, but being honest, sometimes I don't realize I say it until after I say it. Like, genuinely, I don't know. Sometimes it's on purpose, right? I do streaming. I do the things. I say the weird stuff. But sometimes it's genuinely, I don't realize I say these things. And people are like, oh, and I'm like, what? All right, Aquarius babies. I'm starting it at 53 for the timestamp. 53 minutes in. Whoa! All right, that's fine. Ooh, death reversed. Don't be scared. Again, don't be scared. All right. We have death reversed, 8 of Swords upright, and 8 of Pentacles upright. 8s. What does 8s mean again? Let me see. It's 13 here, but I wonder 8, angel number 8. 8. 8. I wonder if they mean anything. Sometimes when you get double of something, it means something. The last one was king, so I didn't have like a number necessarily associated with it. But powerful message of financial abundance and karmic rewards, inner alignment. Interesting. Okay, let's start reading here. So death reversed is number 13. So this has to do with denial, resistance to change. The death card indicates that you're resisting a change that's occurring and refusing to accept an ending. You may feel stuck or trapped, or that nothing you do results in the desired outcome. Death suggests that this is because you're holding on to the past, perhaps an old way of doing things or an old relationship, and that you're reluctant to move on. Only by letting go of the past can you truly take the leap and make the change. Okay. Let's start first with reading the other. So 8 of Swords and 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Swords. Upright. Paralysis, being trapped, fear, restriction. Release, or not release. This is for the reverse. So paralysis, being trapped, fear, restriction. You may feel trapped or frozen. Whether you feel afraid, unsupported, or overwhelmed by your circumstances, you're not moving forward anytime soon. You may feel cornered or guarded, which can be totally understandable given your current context, but be warned, staying stagnant and putting up impenetrable walls closes you off to new opportunities and prevents you from channeling creativity. It may feel impossible to trust again, but know that you need to make a leap of faith to invite love and goodness back into your life. I think this is the inner alignment and karmic rewards part. It's the thing that you're clinging too hard to. It's the thing that you're stuck on when what really you need is to be isekai'd. So upright, this is literally like isekai. You need to kill the old thing that isn't helping you and move forward. Like, kill the past self. You need to transform, but you're afraid of getting hit by a truck, which I don't blame you for, by the way. 8 of Pentacles. This is gonna be... Woo! Upright, commitment, hard work, education, and skill development. Investment. It's all about hard work, commitment, and determination. You're looking to build the foundation for a better, more fulfilling future by mastering skills and putting in the time and effort needed to accomplish your future goals, whether that's investing in a healthy romantic relationship, managing budgets or projects at work, or investing in self-worth and personal growth. It shows that you're laying the groundwork for success. Yeah, so you have what you need to get started. I think you've already made the first steps for what you need to get started. The problem here is that you are too stuck on the past, and that's preventing you from going past getting started. I think you already laid a good foundation for yourself, but you haven't fixed the inside part of yourself that is afraid to move on and go forward and do things, you know? This is the impression I get from you. You have the foundation laid out. You have good endeavors going for you. I don't know if this is related to a relationship, though usually I consider that with cups. With pentacles, I usually think of it as rich in wealth, financials, material possessions, jobs. This is what I usually think of with pentacles. But I think it could go either way, to be honest, with this specific reading. Yeah? All right. That was for Aquarius. Yep. And the last reading we have is going to be for Pisces. My Pisces people. Let me see. Pisces is going to be at 0057. Let's do 50 again. I keep resting on the 50-second mark. I have no idea what it is about 50, but it just speaks to me. Okay. I am going to pull this first card because it's asking for it. So 8 of Swords again. Okay. The Fool reversed. And then the last one, the Sun reversed. Oh, interesting. We also got 2 new major arcanas in this one. So 8 of Swords. We just read this one, and I know it was at the top of the deck, but it was just the feeling that I was getting for this reading. So 8 of Swords, paralysis, being trapped, fear, restriction. You may feel trapped or frozen. Whether you feel afraid, unsupported, or overwhelmed by your circumstances, you're not moving forward anytime soon. You may feel cornered or guarded, which can be totally understandable given your current context, but be warned, staying stagnant and putting up impenetrable walls closes you off to new opportunities and prevents you from channeling creativity. It may feel impossible to trust again, but know that you need to make a leap of faith to invite love and goodness back into your life. Yeah, so the reason why I'm reading this, if you've already heard some of the past readings, is because some people may only be reading their personal fortune. So some Pisces may only be listening to Pisces, which is totally understandable. Let's go to the Fool reversed. Fool is usually the beginning of the journey. Usually they're like optimistic. Oh, this is the path I'm gonna take, to the point that sometimes they miss that they're about to like walk off a cliff. It's literally like being super ditzy type of feeling. But this is different in the context of your life. So this is literally gonna be, I just talked about this. It's gonna be recklessness, restraint, consideration. In reverse, this card tells you to pause and reconsider your decisions. Intuition and idealism are great, but it's important not to ignore common sense. Things aren't always as they seem, so think ahead and look before you leap. Lastly, if you're surrounded by signs telling you to go, but you're hesitating, this card tells you to stop hemming and hawing and go on. Go all in. So sometimes you want to jump off the cliff. Is that what this is telling me? Let me figure this out with the last card, the Sun reversed. This is going to be number 19. Okay, Sun reversed. Optimism, freedom from care, trouble seeing the bright side. Sun card hints at a few different things. Either you're having difficulty seeing and appreciating the silver linings in life, or your successes and celebrations are taking longer to actualize. Be careful to not be overly optimistic. Check with those you trust to make sure you're being realistic. So, yeah, this seems like... It feels like you're kind of stuck. I think you're stuck in the idea of whether you should stop and be like, how to say? I think you feel like you're not getting any results, so sometimes you get rash and try to jump into a decision that you're not fully committed to, or that you're too fully committed to, rather. I know I said not, but I think it changed to too. This is actually the most like, I'm torn about this reading. I'm the most torn about this reading. I think this person likes to, I think they like to, how to say, it makes me feel bad to say this. It's like fake positivity. It's like trying to hype yourself up, but you already kind of don't feel that way. You already know you don't feel that way. But it's about seeing that even if situations are bad, you need to see the silver lining of what is good about it. Like if you didn't get the job you're looking for, but you later find out that your coworker, or not your coworker, if you didn't get the job you want, but your friend did, and they say the environment is actually horrible once they got in the job, you didn't see that before, but the silver lining was that you didn't have a job that could have been really bad for you, you know? These are things that you won't know because you're not thinking of that possibility. Things like the good stuff, like maybe you will get a job, they could happen in the future, but at the same time, you don't want to feel like, oh, it's absolutely gonna happen. You still have to work for it, you know? You can't just be like, oh, I didn't get this job, but I will get the next job. You have to work for that too. Put in the effort, put in the job application, stuff like that. I think that it's both on the side. This is why I think I'm torn. I think it's both on the side of being too optimistic, but also too pessimistic. It's the fake positivity of, I think I'm gonna do great, but then being like, I'm expecting it to do bad. This is why I'm so torn about this. I think this is about specifically the silver lining, being able to see the difference between good and bad, but also know that bad decisions doesn't mean it's totally bad, but it could have been good, you know? Not it could have been good, but that there is something good about the bad thing that's happening, you know? I struggle with this because it's two sides of the same coin. And I think that's hard for people to realize. I often feel like people are very 100% about things, like it's all or nothing. But for me, it's often the middle road that is correct. And I don't think a lot of people agree with me for that. So I have a hard time saying these things. And I think that's why I'm struggling with this particular reading. But Pisces, I can totally feel what you're going through. I can totally understand that this is going to be really difficult to go through because you're so used to handling things in this way where it's both like, yes, this is going to do great, but I kind of know that this might be bad, you know? Have faith in yourself, but also look out for the signs that this is like why this is good or why this is bad, and have that silver lining there to know, like, even if it doesn't turn out the way you wanted, that there is something that will be good about it, that something that will be good coming out after it. Like, let's say, I want to give another example, which is like, maybe you post something and that post didn't do too well. but the silver lining is that you can learn about why that post didn't do well. So this is what I'm seeing for Pisces. But in general here, I hope you guys have a great July ahead. I am going to be coming back. I do miss you guys, and I'm excited to see you guys again. I hope you guys are excited to explore a new direction together with me. But for now, I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful July. I'm excited to see you again, and I hope you're excited to see me. I'll see you soon, guys. Have a good night, good time zone, good day, good morning, good evening. Bye-bye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.